Welcome to Leadership Speak, an advanced Toastmaster Club for leadership development. We are one of the top 5 clubs globally. I am Hannah Schmidt, your Sergeant at Arms for today, and I look forward to an awesome, great meeting, the first one for 2025. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communications and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Leadership Speak is a premier club for experienced Toastmasters to become better self-directed leaders. We are an advanced club focused primarily on leadership development. Our timer, Nicole, has a virtual hand raised so we can all immediately see who is timing us. Our Toastmaster of the day, wow, that is who is leading our meeting today, and that is Brahm. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, as we enter the new year, it's time to set the tone for 2025, a year brimming with opportunities to lead, to mentor, and to thrive. Our Toastmaster of the day embodies this vision, guiding us to think boldly and act purposely as leaders. With over 28 years of Toastmaster experience and an unwavering commitment to empowering others, Brahm reminds us that leadership isn't just about individual growth, but about uplifting others to thrive as well. Please help me in welcoming our Toastmaster of the day, our ever-inspiring Memone. Over to you, Brahm.
Good morning from Canada. Hello, everyone. Hannah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Welcome, everyone, to Leadership Speak. It's a great start to a new year, and we have some great news that just happened last night. District 86 awarded Leadership Speak the Club of the Year for 2023-2024, the year just gone by. Yes, it's been 6 months, but officially we are now the Club of the Year for District 86. And you all know you are all in District 86. And how did we get to be the Club of the Year for District 86? Well, ladies and gentlemen, quite a number of members last year ending June 2024, did in aggregate together, I think there were about 33 members in aggregate, did 158 education awards. Not only that, but we had 55 members, most of whom were engaged members as well. And that gave us the ability to get back this trophy. We had this trophy last year as well. So this is the second consecutive year, 2023, 2024. This is the second consecutive full year that we've been in existence. Now we will be celebrating our 3rd anniversary on February the 15th. Actually, February the 17th is our charter date, but on February the 15th, which is a Saturday, the nearest date to February the 17th, will be our 3rd year of celebration. So I encourage all of our guests here to attend on February the 15th. It's an open invitation. You will also, of course, be getting reminders in the email. We also have an open house on February the 15th. Great things are happening. Great things are happening in Leadership Speak in the coming year, in the next 6 months, actually. Now, currently, of course, we have about 41 education awards. A number of members have not yet put in their education awards and levels completed that they've already done in December. By the end of this week or next week, this week is already ended, right? Today's Saturday. By the end of next week, we'll probably be over 50 education awards. And by the end of June 30th, the members have promised over 200 awards. So we'll see how we do, because this is the year where we are going to lead and thrive, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. This is the theme of the meeting, a year to lead, mentor, and thrive. And that's why we are here today. So what do we mean by that? Before I go into that, we have some very, very important people amongst us. And who are they? They are our guests, those who are not members of Leadership Speak. And I would like to invite them. And there's going to be a guest book being put in the chat. So Hannah, if you can do that for us, or whoever has been assigned, if you can do that for us, that'd be great. Hannah, who's posting the guest book, Hannah? Is it you? Okay, wonderful. So I will ask the guests that there's a guest book being posted. I want you to come around. This is our fireplace, so come around, sit around the fireplace with me, enjoy the meeting. And of course, our theme, as you can see right down here, is a year to lead, mentor, and thrive. And I will explain in a second what we mean by that. Now, we've completed 6 months already, and we've done some great things. For those of you who are guests here, Leadership Speak has members from 29 countries now. That is right, 29 countries. We just added Germany in January, which brought us to 29 countries. So we have members from Indonesia, Philippines, India, Middle East, Europe, Africa, the Caribbean, and Americas, North America mostly. And if you want to join Leadership Speak, by all means, please fill in the guest book, which is being posted in the chat by Hannah. There's a link there. Welcome to the club, and thank you for being our guest. We really appreciate you. If there's any questions, I will address them at the end of the meeting, and I will actually like to speak to you, all the guests who are here today. So welcome. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I've already mentioned, I'm in double role today. There you go. So this is technology. Okay, let's take one of them off. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's see now. Oh, there we go. Yes. So this trophy was awarded to us last night. It took the district 6 months to decide or have that meeting, and we were invited. I didn't even know that we were going to get the award. They didn't tell us. They just said, come to the meeting and there's an award waiting for you. Well, I guess it would be the Club of the Year, because this is what we strive for. I don't strive for my individual awards, Toastmaster of the Year or the President of the Year. I don't apply for those. I apply for us as a team, because we are a great, strong team. My focus is not on myself. My focus is on how we as a team thrive. And this trophy here, pointing in the right direction, this trophy right here is a testament of the team coming together. And this year, we're all coming together as well, and we'll be doing great things. So congratulations, everyone. Now, a year to lead, mentor, and thrive. How do we do this? For the benefit of the guests, how we do that is we have high standards. Our quality of our meetings is extremely good, and we follow excellence to the nth level. And you all know that. And this is the basis of why members from all over the world, 29 countries now, join Leadership Speak, because we serve our members to the highest degree possible. So when we say we are the top club globally, yes, in terms of education awards, we are the top club globally for sure, if you just count the education awards. But if you also count standards, quality, and excellence, we really shine as the top club globally. This is what makes us stand apart. And we can only do that when we come together as a very cohesive team, which we do. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to all the members, especially those who were members last year, 23-24, who are here. and who really contributed to our goals. And of course, new members have joined. We have had some attrition, and we've had some good education awards already being done, and we will have, I hope, more than 200 education awards as the members have promised. So, ladies and gentlemen, lead. What do I mean by lead? Well, ladies and gentlemen, every person in this club is a leader. Every member in this club is a leader. Why? Because we are Leadership Speak. And as Leadership Speak, we speak as leaders. We stand up, and when we speak as leaders, we want to speak to a group of people who are here in the audience as if they are leaders. And they are leaders. Actually, every member in this club is a leader. That's why we are called Leadership Speak. And when we speak as a leader, with confidence, with conviction, with credibility. And that is what we are striving to do, to become better self-directed at the ability to convey ourselves in a way that really matters. And when we convey ourselves the way it really matters, we stand out as leaders, and we urge our members to do speeches that they will be doing outside in the real world here. This is an advanced club, by the way, for our benefit of our guests. So in an advanced club, we don't want to do speeches that are done in a community club, which you can always learn at the community club, the basics of a speech. Here we do speeches where if you do a speech in here, you can take the same speech and do it outside in the real world, and you'll be heard as an expert in your area. So this is what our goal is. This is the goal of our members. This is what we urge our members to strive for as they go forward and learn at the next level of speaking. So that is why we are called Leadership Speak. Okay, so everyone is a leader? Okay. Now, mentor. I'm a behind mentor. Ladies and gentlemen, when we are leaders, we don't know everything. I don't know everything. I'm still learning. I've been a member for 28 years, and I'm still learning. And whenever we have meetings like this, I learn something new. Minutely, I step forward and progress forward every time I stand up to speak. I mentor a lot of people, and when I mentor, I learn a lot myself. I've got my own mentors as well. So a strong club needs to mentor each other at all times. There's nothing like, I know it all and you can't mentor me, or I don't want to mentor you, or so on and so forth. We all mentor each other. And as you know, if you are a speaker today, we urge the speaker to communicate with your evaluator. Your evaluator is basically a mentor and evaluator, and they'll help you progress forward. So if you connected with your evaluator beforehand, then they would know exactly what your goal is for this particular presentation. Besides the objectives that are being laid out in the pathways, what other goals you're working for towards, because we are in advanced club, there are other goals that you may have in that particular presentation. And so it really becomes more like a mentorship as well, right? So it is embedded in our club that we teach and mentor and lead each other. And that is the reason why we have such a strong club. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, that is the reason why we are thriving. And in 2025, by June, we'll see at the end, and as we progress, we will be measuring for the benefit of the members here how well we are doing in terms of the education awards, in terms of engagement, and so on and so forth. So ladies and gentlemen, tighten your seatbelt and welcome to Leadership Speak. We have a full agenda happening here. Again, dear guests, please sign in the guest book. Hannah will put in the link in the chat again for you. You are very, very important to us, and I would love to speak to you at the end of the meeting. Thank you, Hannah, for posting that link again for us. Okay. Now, before we start any meeting, I think the agenda was posted earlier in the chat. Baron or somebody, if you can post the agenda again in, or the Zoom master, Terence, if you can post it in the chat again for us. But to start off the meeting, we have a toast. And the toast is going to be raised by Irene Sadia. If you can spotlight Irene next to me here. Irene, how are you today?
Very well, Brahm. How are you?
I'm doing very well. And you are speaking from Nairobi while I'm in city next to Toronto in Canada. How's Nairobi today?
Nairobi is hot and sunny. Good weather. Yes.
And it is cold and -5 degrees here. So welcome over to you, Irene, for the toast.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Hello, everyone. It is 4 days into the new year. As a leader, how do you plan for the year? Or do you just run into it? What are the things that you do to ensure that this year will go according to your plan? You could put your various ideas in the chat, right? So I've mentioned that planning. So leaders plan. They know exactly where they're going. We've heard it said that when you fail to plan, you have planned to fail. As a leader, I don't think that is what you want to be said of you. And people will follow you because they believe in you. They believe in what you're saying. They can see. We're told that success leaves clues, so they can see the success, and that is what they will be following. So as a leader, I would trust that, I would imagine that we are planning, very first thing. And in that plan, there is an order. It can't be all over the place. There's got to be a sequence to ensure that everything gets done on time. Secondly, as a leader, are you leveraging on your networks? Are you leveraging on your club members, the people in your team, your family members? You'd be amazed at the kind of ideas, resources that your very networks have. For example, if you want to be a better evaluator and you've seen someone who evaluates really well, wouldn't you ask them, give you tips on what they do? And then that just helps to inch your level a little higher than you were before. And number 3, who are you mentoring? Who is that individual who is at the point where you were 6 months ago, a year ago? You definitely have gained some experience. You've gained some learning that you can share with them. How are you lifting somebody else to come up to where you are, even be able to go higher than where you are right now? There are 360 days left in this year. How are you going to rise up and make it count for you? Make it count for the team. Make it count for everyone in the club. How are you going to lead? How are you going to mentor? How are you going to thrive in the year 2025? Therefore, fellow Toastmasters and guests, please unmute yourselves, raise your glass, and join me to raise the toast to a thriving year.
To a thriving
To a
year.
thriving year.
To a thriving year.
To a thriving year.
Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Irene, thank you very much. And I will be thriving this year. Earlier, before we began the meeting, our greeter was asking, what's your favorite word for 2024 and one word for 2025? My word is always the same, team or community. Choose one of those. A strong team, a strong base of team makes sure that we do thrive, and that's why we are thriving. because of a very strong team. It's always my team. I don't apply for, as I said, any award. It's not about me, it's about the team. I always make sure that I apply for an award for the team, which is Leadership Speak. And we want to clinch that award the coming year as well. So 3 years in a row and continuing forever, right? Thank you, members. Thank you, Irene, for the wonderful toast. All right. The clock's ticking, and we have a timer. And the timer will tell us what we are going to be doing. If you can spotlight Nokawe next to me. Thank you. Nokawe, how are you?
I'm very well, Toastmaster of the Day. How are you?
All the way from South Africa. I'm doing very well. All right. Tell us what you'll be doing today, Nokawe. Looks like Nokawe is frozen there a little.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster.
Yeah.
Greetings, fellow Toastmasters, and a special greeting to our guests. I am Nokawe Nkosi, the Toastmaster, the timer of today's meeting. I shall be timing the speakers and the evaluators according to the times allocated in our agenda. After each section, I will be putting the time slots on the chat. When I talk about session, I mean after the speeches and after the evaluation. Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much. And our next role is, of course, to do with, he's going to be reading the whole dictionary. Grammarian Suresh Kapiri, if you can spotlight. Hey, Suresh, how are you doing? And where are you from? Where are you speaking from today?
I'm from Hyderabad, India.
And what's the weather there?
It's night 20 degrees Celsius and day 29 degrees Celsius.
Well, tell us what you will be doing today.
Yeah. Excuse me. Master?
Go ahead and tell us.
Yeah. Good day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I will take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is flourish, which means grow of a living organism or develop in a healthy or vigorous way, especially as the result of particularly congenial environment. As an example, the word usage, wild plants flourish on the banks of the lake. And another example, mentoring is not just about guiding others. It is about grinding together, and through shared experiences, both mentor and mentee can flourish. Each speaker encouraged to use the word of today, flourish. I will give the grammarian's report when called upon and also report on the usage of the word of the day. Thank you. Over to you, TMOD.
Suresh, thank you very much. Really appreciate that. So, ladies and gentlemen, the word is flourish. And I would hope, here's a challenge rather than a hope. I really don't want to hope. I would like to challenge everyone who's going to speak from now on forwards to use that word of the day, flourish, at least once and as many times as you can. And let's give a run for his money to our grammarian so that he can keep counting. Hopefully it'll be over 20. So that's the challenge to all our speakers and evaluators and GE and whoever is going to just speak anything. Let's all come together and flourish and thrive as a team. Suresh, are you up for the challenge? All right, good. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, now this is the year to lead, mentor, and thrive 2025. It's not to be taken lightly. We play together as a team, and we want to be world-class, a premier club, which we are, a premier club for experienced Toastmasters to become better self-directed leaders. And that's a very deep meaning in itself, which if the guests want to know what it means, I will be answering that at the end. Make sure there's a guest book link in the chat for our guests. Dear guests, you are so important to us. And please do sign in the guest book, and either the vice president or membership will get back to you, or if you request, even I can get back to you as well. Okay. In every Leadership Speak meeting, we have a 20-minute opportunity for a speaker to speak something based on the theme itself. Nicole Miller-Douglas is our education speaker today. Nicole, how are you?
I am doing fine. I'm thriving.
All right. Well, your evaluator is Deborah Walker. Deborah, welcome. And tell us what Nicole will be doing. And Deborah, by the way, where are you from? Where are you speaking from this morning?
I am coming to you from the Canadian prairies, Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada, where right now it is dark. It is cold, -30, and there is a ton of snow outside. We are in the deep freeze.
So, Deborah, I can't complain. It's -5 over here. Over to you, Deborah.
Thank you very much. Before I mention Nicole's project, Happy New Year to everyone in the club. And my wish for you is that each one of you will flourish in whatever endeavors it is you wish to pursue in 2025. For Nicole, today she is going to be working from the Motivational Strategies path, Level 5, the Prepare to Speak Professionally project. She will be presenting a keynote style speech exemplifying a professional level speaker's point of view or message in a style that supports the speech content. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Deborah. So, Nicole, you're going to be amplifying your aspirations. That's the speech title, by the way, for the guests. The agenda is also in the chat somewhere. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Nicole Miller-Douglas, all the way from Jamaica. Amplify your aspirations. Amplify your aspirations. Nicole Miller-Douglas. All yours.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Brahm. Happy New Year, Leadership Speak, guests and members. Indeed, our most important participants today are our guests. And I wish for our guests to thrive in 2025. Amplify your aspirations. This is a personal testimony. But before I share my personal testimony, I'll share a story with you. Once upon a time, there was a farmer who kept winning the award of the best corn year after year after year. Then one year, the reporter decided to interview the farmer. How do you keep winning year after year after year? The farmer's response made it seem as easy as A, B, C. He said that I share my seeds with my neighbors, even though my neighbors are my competitors. The surprised reporter asked, Why would anyone want to do something like that? The farmer's response: the wind blows the pollen from field to field. If my neighbor grows inferior corn, that will impact my corn by degrading the quality of my corn. So because I want to produce the best quality corn year after year after year, I share with my neighbors. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, this was the story of My Neighbor's Corn by Nareen Keeney. So it is with those who want to live meaningfully. They feel so self-motivated to enrich the lives of others. The story of the farmer connected with me and my journey in Leadership Speak. This story is supported by a quote from John Maxwell, which says, "One is too small a number to achieve greatness. No accomplishment of real value has ever been achieved by a human being working alone." And this is where I tell you about the mentorship program in Leadership Speak and how it has impacted me and my protege journey since I started in Leadership Speak in April 2024. I've had many protege experiences, but this one in Leadership Speak has topped them all. You heard it from our Toastmaster of the day. The club has been around for approximately 3 years. And the success that the club has experienced so far, I believe, is founded and rooted in the mentorship program at Leadership Speak. So I invite members who have not yet experienced the mentorship program in Leadership Speak to come along and join us in this journey. I also invite our guests to become a member of Leadership Speak so you too can participate in this wonderful mentorship program and reap the benefits that I have reaped and I'm about to share with you. Let's start with the very first impression I had. One day, I was at home and I saw a message pop up on my phone screen. Circle of Extraordinariness. You're now a member of that group. The very first impression was the name of the mentorship group. I loved it. I began looking deeper within to try and augment that which I believe I already possessed, but didn't know how to bring it out or to amplify it. From the onset, I felt the very extraordinariness begin to pull out of me. I felt boldness coming on. I felt increased confidence coming on. So that's the name of the group, the Circle of Extraordinariness. It's a mentorship group that we have in Leadership Speak. It has helped me to amplify my ambitions so far. This you'll hear more about as we continue in this presentation. It's a group mentorship. I've never been a part of a group mentorship before. I've had one-on-one mentor protege experiences before, but this one is one of a kind. Being a part of a group mentorship program. In this group, each member, as well as the community, keeps thriving together at every experience. This group meets every Tuesday. So the next thing I want you to note is that we meet regularly every week. Because we meet regularly, I've been gaining the traction that I really needed to amplify the ambitions that I had all along. Dr. Rouse Medley, the founder of Toastmasters International, said the two most important factors are mentoring and evaluation in Toastmasters. And if done well, create enthusiasm. It lights a fire that keeps the club energized. This mentorship program keeps me engaged and energized. I believe it will do the same for you. So come along on this journey with me. How can you, unless you become a member? And when you become a member of Leadership Speak, then you can experience the group mentorship program. Here are some ways in which this mentorship program has been helping me to amplify my aspirations. 1, improving transitions in speech delivery. I've been told repeatedly, you need to improve your transitions in your speech delivery. I hear it in multiple evaluations that I've received, but not much guidance was given on how I can do so. Yes, I did go ahead and research some ways to improve my transitions. I did take actions such as listening to some advanced speakers and observing how they did it. All this is these are good steps in the right direction. However, I needed something more. And that's where the Leadership Speak mentorship program has been helping me. Just by weekly preparing presentations to share in this mentorship program, I benefit from what we call a round-robin evaluation. And added to that, our master coach gives that added value in how to make that transition elevate from good to better. So there's a Tuesday's mentoring session. And in addition to that, we have a Thursday session for those who are preparing for our Saturday morning meetings so that our presentations can be better than we anticipated it would be by just preparing it by ourselves. Instead, we have each other to help so that we can thrive and flourish. The second benefit I've reaped so far from Leadership Speak mentorship program is I take responsibility for my own growth. Taking responsibility for one's growth is something that takes an active approach. We come prepared with our own stories to share with each other and just to receive that feedback that will help elevate our speech. Thirdly, I've experienced increased confidence from this mentorship program. I will spend some time here, but I'm going to converge 3 points into one as I share my story. The next 2 points are 4, I have better goal setting skills. And 5, I benefit in my experience of diversity. As was said before, Leadership Speak now includes 29 countries, and we're growing rapidly. This group is thriving. When I started preparing this presentation, I noted that our membership spans across 28 countries. But as was said by our distinguished Toastmaster, we are now in 29 different countries. It makes me feel great to be a part of a group that includes so many people from across the world. So here, as I said, my 3 points coming together in one experience: improved goal setting, my experience of diversity, and as I said before, the growth that I have been experiencing. Since joining Leadership Speak in April, I had the confidence to embrace opportunities that came along the way. One of them was in August of last year rather. On the 1st of August, in Jamaica, we celebrate what is called Emancipation Day. It's a big holiday, one where we'll hear the music of one of our cultural icons across the parishes in Jamaica, as he represents the meaning of emancipation in one of his several songs. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. We forward in this generation triumphantly. We all forward in Leadership Speak. That is how I feel in this club. I feel as if we're moving all together at once forward. In this particular mentorship program, I learned from my mentor, and as our distinguished Toastmaster said earlier on, he learns from us as members too. We embrace a mindset of continuous learning. There's always something for someone to learn. No matter how experienced members are, we all embrace learning more. Then a couple months after that came another opportunity And as I said before, the confidence that leadership speak has helped to hone in me, allowed me to embrace these opportunities. Once again, in December, I received the opportunity to be the master of ceremony at the same park that I did earlier on in August, speaking to a crowd of approximately 3,500 people. If someone had told me that I could have done something like that, probably nervousness or low confidence would have taken over and I would have shunned such opportunity. But with the improved confidence that I have experienced being a member of Leadership Speak, I was able to boldly accept the challenge and do more than that, negotiate my salary as the master of ceremony. I've never had an opportunity like that before. And I believe Leadership Speak positioned me for this opportunity. As I step into 2025, I believe I will thrive once I continue in this program that Leadership Speak offers. The mentorship has been impacting me in ways far more than I would have ever imagined before becoming a member. The practice in Leadership Speak has prepared me to boldly take on opportunities, and I believe it will do the same for you as you choose to transition from being a guest to becoming a member. Being a part of this mentorship program has allowed me to see that there are certain characteristics to be a successful protege. These include, one, being open to feedback and proactive about one's own growth. Previous to being in Leadership Speak, I wouldn't have expressed my aspirations of becoming a master of ceremony, or even yet one that I've kept a secret for so long. I was able to share in one of our Tuesday sessions that I really want to become a lecturer at a university. It seemed like a dream that I kept only in a box to myself. But Leadership Speak gave me the confidence to articulate that to our members and feel comfortable to get feedback that can help me along the way. But added to that, rather than just having it as an open-ended goal, I can now add a timeline to it. I want to become a university lecturer by 2027. Now that I've set a goal, I feel confident to work on it because I'm a part of a community that I feel comfortable in to thrive, to flourish, and to achieve my goals. I believe you will feel the same way too if you come on over and enjoy the journey in Leadership Speak. The second successful characteristic of a protege is that all of us, no matter which country we come from, Antigua, India, Spain, Nigeria, you name it, we all value our mentor's time, which allows us to come prepared at every session to speak. The third characteristic of a successful protege is you're willing to share your goals and understanding of mentorship. That mentorship is a collaborative partnership. My aspirations have been amplified because of my experience in leadership speak. And just like the story of the farmer, we strive to uplift each other so that we all thrive. Come, thrive in the mentorship program here at Leadership Speak by becoming a member in 2025. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Wow. Amazing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know how we lead each other, we mentor each other, and how we are thriving as a group and individually here, how Nicole Miller Douglas is thriving in the club and why she's a member here. So for the benefits of our guest, we'll post the guest book link once more. If you like, please sign in. Let us know what you thought of the speech, what you think of the meeting so far. If you want to become a member, indicate that as well in the guest book. Whatever you wish, please sign into the guest book. As you know, and you've already heard, and if you look at the dashboard, we are the top club globally, not only because of the numbers of education awards, because of what we do, which you heard from Nicole Miller Douglas. Nicole, thank you so much. We will move into the presentations and speeches, and we have 5 speakers today, so in total 6 speakers. Our meetings are longer than 2 hours, ladies and gentlemen, so please tighten your seatbelt. Here we go. Our first speaker is Alfin Abrar, and he's all the way from Indonesia. Alfin, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, Brahm?
I'm doing amazing. Now, Alfin is, of course, 12 hours ahead of me, where I am from. Alfin, what's the weather like where you are? What's the city? Which city are you from in Indonesia?
Jakarta, Indonesia.
Jakarta, the capital. And what's the weather in Jakarta right now?
The weather is good. Fine. No, not raining.
All right, good.
Yeah.
It must be hot and warm, not -5 or -30 as Deborah is experiencing, of course.
Yeah, warm, around 27 to 30 Celsius.
Whoa. If you will bring Elena Constantino on the screen, and let's hear from Elena. Elena, how are you?
Good afternoon. How are you?
So
Happy New
good.
Year.
And you are from Cyprus?
Cyprus is generally hot, but
Mediterranean?
not still a little bit wintry.
What are you doing today here for Alfin here, Elena?
Today we're going to hear from Alfin on his path of motivational strategies. His project is an introduction to vocal variety and body language. It's a 5 to 7 minute speech, and we would like to focus our evaluation on how effective his motivational techniques are.
All right. Thank you. So there you go. You know what our evaluator is looking for. We encourage the guests and everybody else in the meeting to give Alfin a feedback at the end in the chat, a very brief feedback. Alfin Abrar, everything needs time. Everything needs time. Alfin Abrar, over to you.
Everything I do, I want to become successful. Do you agree, ladies and gentlemen? I was appointed as club coach in Lipo Karawaci Toastmasters Club in Indonesia. The starting point was very challenging. You only have 2 active members. And as a club coach, I was desperate of how to make the club better. And then I remember a story about a stone miner who cracks a giant stone with 100 knocks. So once upon a time, there was a stone miner. One day, he found a giant rock, and he wished he can crack it so he can bring it to the market and sell it. The only thing that he knew that in order to crack the stone, he has to knock it. So he starts to knock. First knock, 10 knocks, 20 knocks. There is no sign of crack. Again, that is the only thing that he knows. He kept knocking 30 times, 40 times, 50 times. People around start talking to him, mocking him. Look at that person. He knocks the giant stone. He thinks he can crack it. The stone miner didn't listen because he believes to crack a stone, he has to knock it. 70 knocks, 18 knocks, 90 knocks. There is still no sign of progress. The stone is standing strong. The stone miner accept his fate that he will do this forever. But look at my body. I'm stronger, more muscle in me. So I don't worry to keep knocking on this stone because it makes me stronger. So the stone miner knocks until 98 times, 99 times, on 100, the knocks crack. Fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, remembering that story, go back to my job as club coach. After several months of devastating journey with the new members, I believe that our attempt to recruit members is our knocks. And eventually, one day, I attend Leadership Speak Club. And I noticed they have so many members. And then I learned the way they recruit members. They manage guests. Even the club leaders invest around 30 minutes to talk to me to address my objective to join the club. This is amazing. I can do this in my club. Why I don't know this earlier? I just can skip the time why I don't know this earlier so I can implement this solution. But it is not like that. Because the moment I spend my time, 5 months, I become stronger. I face more rejections. It makes me more relaxed to recruit members. So after joining Leadership Speak, I brief the club officers and we make the plan to increase membership in that club. The result is, in 4 months, we have 4 new members. And we increase from just 2 memberships to 6 memberships by the end of December 2024. And we are very optimistic that we can end as Distinguished Club by the end of June 2024, 25, because we only need 11 members. So, fellow Toastmasters, is it that 100 knocks that make the success? It isn't. It is the journey to knocks the stone over and over. It makes you stronger. And then the impact of the knocks is not tangible at the time, but it may cracks inside. We cannot see it. If you're going to become a public speaker, for example, keep speaking, keep trying. Maybe your 10th speech is not good yet, but who knows, on your 100 speaks, it will lead to an opportunity. Fellow leaders, trust in process because everything needs time. Even one of the greatest footballer, Lionel Messi, he need 20 years to establish as one of the greatest football. When he achieved the World Cup, he need 20 years to do that. So never think that we can do instantly. Everything needs time, everything needs process. And when I do the process, when I accept the struggle, when I win or when I receive the result, I feel very enjoyable and I'm happy to share it with others. So, fellow Toastmasters, keep knocking on the stone. If the stone is your goals to become a better speaker or better leader, because who knows, your 100 knocks is coming. Back to you, Toastmaster of the meeting.
I am completely inspired by that speech. Knocking, knocking, knocking until the 100th one cracked the rock. There are no overnight successes, and there are no overnight successes at Leadership Speak either. Every member here works towards a goal. And as you heard from our previous speaker, education speaker, Nicole, she's started to do some great things in her community, and this is just the start because she's still knocking on that stone, and Alfin is as well, and all of our members are. Thank you, Alfin, for that wonderful message. Our next speaker, Zahra Moharrer. Zahra, Turkey, right? Istanbul?
Yes.
And what's the weather like in Istanbul?
Comparing to what I heard, -5, -30, I think it is a heaven, but very cold for me.
Okay. And Dan Oder is going to be evaluating you. Dan? Hi, Dan. Habari yako?
Missouri, good morning. Greetings from Nairobi, Kenya.
All right. My son is in Nairobi as well. He's a pilot. Now, what are you going to be doing here for Zahra today, Dan?
Yes, I'm going to be evaluating Zahra. She's taking the path in motivational strategies, level 1, project 3. The project is about vocal variety and body language. It's using a presentation. She wants to use critical thinking in this project. She's got 5 to 7 minutes. Back to you, Brahm.
Wonderful. And it's so good to see evaluators and speakers that speak before the meeting and connect, because we always say at Leadership Speak, an evaluator and a speaker are really partners. They're not sitting on the opposite sides of a fence. They are really partners, and they work together to make sure that the speaker gets the maximum benefit from their presentation. Zahra Moharrer is going to be speaking, and her speech title is A Single Act of Kindness. A Single Act of Kindness, Zahra Moharrer.
Have you ever been in trouble and relieved stress and tension by a single act of kindness of someone? Please raise your hand if yes. Thank you. Fellow Toastmasters, even fairy tales have their own dark chapters. Imagine a girl of 4 years old whose childhood life was shattered by a trauma. trapped in the past, stuck with negativity, and surrounded by people sympathize her unnecessarily, rather than empathize and listen to her, to give a single act of kindness. This experience made her isolated, reserved, and restricted. She was too shy. In her 30s, she decided to leave her home country. She couldn't understand anymore, and it was beyond her tolerance. Went to Malaysia to pursue her PhD journey, to create a bridge between present and future for a better life. And here I am, that little girl, living in Kuala Lumpur was really wonderful. I tried a lot. I could step out of my comfort zone, could see out of the box, and if I were a bird, I was able even to fly. But you know, few months later, I felt it wasn't the meaningful change that I really wanted to have. Sitting in the campus bus station, the air filled with despair, disappointment. I lost in my thoughts when I felt a tap on my shoulder. There was a lady next to me. She said, "Hey, are you okay?" My initial silence spoke volumes. She continued with a warm smile. I felt maybe you are willing to talk to someone. I am here if it works. If it works? I was longing for something, a single act of kindness. Somebody listened to me without judging me. Yes, and that could have made a huge difference. Her name was Zahra. Zahra's characteristic is totally different. Always wear a genuine smile and gave hand to help those in trouble. But I couldn't understand one point. How could she be so cheerful and high-spirited while being wheelchair bound? Yes, she was a handicap. Gradually, I started understanding her. Her passion touched my heart. A warm feeling resonated within me. A sense of purpose. It means I could have feel better and successful if I tried to give a single act of kindness. Yes, no matter whether we are men or women, young or old. As far as we have opened up our hearts, we have something here. We can share it with those who want to be listened. Listen to them patiently and put ourselves into their shoes. That was my aha moment, as it says by I made the change that I really wanted to see in the world. Mahatma Gandhi. Fellow dear Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, our world badly needs compassion, love, kindness. We need to foster peace and understanding, appreciate diverse approaches and perspectives, and build strong connections and relationship. To cultivate kindness in our society, never stop the circle of kindness. Never lose the spark of kindness, and never underestimate the effect of the power of ripple effect. Let's connect our hearts together, spread love into the societies. With just one single act of kindness, we can make the globe a better place, not only for us, but also future generations. I want to challenge you. Are you ready to take and demonstrate a single act of kindness? If yes, please write yes in the chat box. Write yes in the chat box. Thank you very much.
Mr. Zoom Master. Thank you. And I would say yes. If I had the time, I would put yes in the chat for you, Zahra. Absolutely. In this world, we need to connect with other human beings, be kind, spread kindness, spread love. Absolutely. And at Leadership Speak, we really emphasize on connecting. Connecting, to me, means expressing love in a manner that is conducive to Toastmasters. We love Toastmasters. We love our fellow Toastmasters. And that all happens when we begin to connect at a meaningful level. Thank you, Zahra. Our next speaker is speaker number 3, Angela Brahm. Angela, so good to have you back in the club. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
And Angela is not far from me. She's experiencing the same weather. She's like perhaps 20, 30 kilometers from where I am. Right, Angela?
Correct.
Is that Markham or?
I'm in Scarborough.
In Scarborough. Okay. Not far from where I am. Short drive. And her evaluator is Fabian Joseph from Guyana. Fabian, how are you?
I am great, Brahm.
What's happening in Guyana? What's the weather?
The weather is very cool. We just had a bit of a shower, but it is cool and nice.
All right, great, awesome. Tell us what Angela is going to be doing today.
Okay, Angela will be doing her icebreaker speech. And the purpose of her speech is to deliver a speech on any topic as an introduction to the club using any style. And the style that she will be using, she will be doing a humorous speech with the title, Incredible Change. Angela has chosen a humorous speech because she wants to step out of her comfort zone and to try something different. So that is what she will be doing today.
Thank you, Fabian.
Sorry, correction. The title of my speech is Enough Just As I Am.
Yes, I will just announce that in a second. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Angela Brahm. Enough Just As I Am. Enough Just As I Am. It's right there. Angela Brahm, over to you.
Thank you. Have you ever felt like you're not enough? Like no matter what you do, it's just never enough? Just raise your hand if you've ever felt like that. Well, let me tell you, I have been a member of that club for a long time. I think I might even be the president. As a child, a baby, I was born with a very serious heart condition. I had 3 holes in my heart. The doctors told my mom that your child is not going to survive. Well, surprise, here I am, 60 years later. As a child, my medical conditions often stopped me from doing other things that other children just take for granted, like riding a bike. No. Playing hopscotch? No. Go swimming? No, definitely not. I was a very tiny child. At 8 years old, I weighed 38 pounds and I was 3 feet 6 inches. You could say that I was the height of a coat rack. At school, the children were very mean. They would tease, taunt me, and call me names relentlessly. They would call me names like dwarf, midget. They would say, go back to kindergarten. I think those were such creative names. They must have dug deep into their imagination to come up with those ones. Home, things were not much better. I lived with my grandmother in Jamaica with my sister from the time I was 2 years old to 8 years old. And my cousin also lived with us. My sister and my cousin always played games that they knew I couldn't do. I would surely lose, like tag, running around, going outside, playing hopscotch. These were things that I just could not do because of my condition. One time they told me that I would be great at hide and seek. I hid. Turns out they forgot to come and find me. I thought after I came to Canada and I had 2 open heart surgeries, things would be a lot better, that I would be able to do other things like the other kids. Things were better, kinda. I was able to do a few things, but my mom, being an overprotective mom, wouldn't allow me to do much. Ride a bike? Still no. Play hopscotch? Tag? Still definitely no. I couldn't even go outside and play with the other children. That's how scared she was. I mean, I could trip over a pebble. As I was growing up, I realized that it's not about what I can or can't do. Life is about showing up and doing your best. And so if you can't ride a bike, if you can't play outside, these things are not as important. What I cannot do physically is not as important as doing it, as showing up. I realize also that I am enough. And I stand here today, 4 feet 10 inches, not much higher, but I stand here today to tell you that we are all enough. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Enough just as I am. So everyone has got some extraordinariness within them, and doesn't matter how tall or how short you are. You may be teased, you may be amplified, whichever it is, but you are enough just as you are. Thank you so much, Angela, for that wonderful presentation on being just yourself. Our next speaker is my country cousin. Youselee, how are you?
Good. And you?
I'm doing great as well. And there's another Canadian who's speaking today. She's not far from me, about Well, she does come over and visit once in a while, and she takes the bus and the train. It takes her about 2 or 3 hours to get to where I am. She came over for my birthday party. Wonderful. So the weather is the same as where I am, right? Usually?
Yes, it's snowing outside right now.
It's snowing right now? Okay, good. And our evaluator is Buhari Zayed. Buhari is from Nigeria, I believe. If I remember well, Buhari. What's the weather like in Nigeria?
Yes, Brahm. Wow, today is a bit warmer. It's around 26 degrees.
26, wow, okay. I'm sure Youselee could use with 26 degrees. Now, what is she going to be doing today?
Thank you so much, Brahm, the Toastmaster of the day. So Youselee is going to be making a presentation on dynamic leadership pathway. She would be presenting a speech on communicating change. And part of the things she wants me to concentrate on evaluating is how she motivates, encourage, persuade, and convey her message through storytelling. And I will be back with my evaluation on PowerPoint. Thank you.
Buhari, I love stories. I love stories. Let's hear a story. Story time. Ladies and gentlemen, my country cousin, Youselee Joseph, an incredible change, Youselee Joseph.
One day in January 2023, while I was at work, I suddenly heard some noises like fireworks, but more intense. About 1 minute later, everyone's phone were receiving alert messages. It was about gangs shouting near the building. Then another message about safety precautions. We had not finished reading the messages that we were already surrounded by well-equipped army soldiers ready to fight back with the gang's member. And the high security doors and windows were tightly locked. In less than 10 minutes, the workplace had become a potential war zone between soldiers from the United States, because I was working at the US Embassy. Fight between soldiers, American soldiers, and gang members outside the building. The workplace has become as well a prison for us all employees. No one could go out. No one could leave to get home. For some offices on the first floor, some of my colleagues could not even go to the bathroom. At that time, the thing to do were first to contact the family members in order to inform them that we were safe and we will possibly spend the night at the office. The other thing was, had a little fun about this situation by joking about who will have the big couch in the office, or who will sleep on the floor. And at that time, one of my colleagues, Stefania, just realized, like me, that she neither have an emergency backpack or any kind of thing to cover herself for the night. We didn't have clothes or toiletries. And Stefania came to me and said, Youselee, you know what? We must have our emergency backpack in the office. I said straight, no, not for me. You know what? I will work on a plan for change. I will take this time tonight to have a plan to leave the country. At this moment, I just felt tired. And I crafted my plan for change. Change of the environment. The plan consists of two simple words: information and action. Information, I had to learn rules regarding immigration procedures. I had to find this country that could accept me as a legal immigrant to be able to work, visit my family. After come the action. I have to apply for this change for immigration process. The stakeholders in that plan were me, the manager, and the beneficiary. My family members for moral and financial support, the government of my country for all the documents that I will need, and the government of the chosen country. How will I communicate with them? Simple. Sending text message, call people, and send well-intentional crafted letters to both government. The plan incorporates as well what to do when arriving in this country. And after, the word for that is integration. How do I find a job? Where are the offices to get new document? And what about the rules of daily life? And another important thing is, how do I make new friends? One thing that was not in the plan that turns out to be really important was mourning. Mourning for who I was, mourning for what I had. Embracing this change was one of the craziest, uncertain things that I have never do in my life. And it has been 1 year, 9 months, and 2 days since I landed in Canada. For Sandra, as you asked in the beginning of the meeting, my word for 2024 is blessings. And during this period, I learned that dealing with this change in my personal life was more challenging and way more challenging than dealing with managing change at work in a professional matter. The most important thing that I learned during that process, during this change, is I am Youselee Joseph. No matter where I am, no matter what I am doing, I am Youselee Joseph. My word for you today is you are who you are. No matter where you are, no matter what kind of job you are Gerda Felix, Brahm Memone, Jyoti Thomas, and Deborah Walker. You are yourself. You are not your position or your possession. Whether you are living in your own country or in a foreign country, you are you. Whether you may accumulate material things or you may lose all of them in one day, you will always still be you. Nothing can truly alter your value because who you truly are is here, right in your heart. Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
Wow, amazing. Now you know why I call her country cousin, because she immigrated from Haiti to Canada, and she lives not far from where I am. And so I call her country cousin. And I've known her before. While she was in Haiti, she was a member of another club right here in Canada where I was a member. Youselee, an amazing, incredible change indeed. Thank you very much. Stay blessed. Our next speaker, and our final speaker, speaker number 5, is Maryam Saedavi. Maryam, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. What about you?
I'm doing amazing. What country are you in? Iran?
Yeah, actually, now I'm in the Ahvaz, the South Iran.
In southern Iran, okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. And what's the weather like over there?
Yeah, actually, this is the winter. This is the first month of the winter. Very cold.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, because you're in the northern hemisphere. Wonderful.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
And we're going to hear an icebreaker from you. Zinga is our evaluator. If you can have Zinga here. Hey, Zinga, how are you doing?
Hello, doing fine. Very
All
hot.
the way from Angola, Luanda, right? How's the weather in Luanda?
31 in the thermometer, 31 degrees Celsius, but the
31.
feeling is 36, Brahm. It's extremely hot.
You are welcome to -5 over here, or with Deborah -30.
No, thank you. I just went for a swim before the meeting, and I'm very happy with it.
Tell us what Maryam is doing today.
Maryam will be delivering her icebreaker for the dynamic leadership path. So the purpose is for Maryam to introduce herself before this club leadership speak. Maryam told me that she wants to flourish as a speaker by delivering the speech in the best way.
Wonderful.
Back to you, Brahm.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome Maryam Saedavi. Everything matters with our icebreaker. Everything matters, Maryam Saedavi.
Thank you so much. You can hear me.
I can hear you well.
Perfect. Fellow Toastmaster and the guests, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Today I want to share a journey of the transformative, one that took me from the South Iran in Ahvaz to the dynamic city of the Dubai and beyond. Along a way, I discovered the power of the perseverance, adaptability, and the profound impact of the Toastmaster. The first stage of my life, humbling beginning from the Ahvaz to the Dubai. It's all began in Ahvaz, a city where the intense summer tested resilience of the life involving around the clothes, knit communities. Growing up, I dreamed of the exploring opportunity beyond my surrounding. In 2007, I made to the move to the Dubai, a city buzzing with the diversity and ambitious. Dubai presents both opportunity and challenge. Stepping into the new culture required me to adapt quickly. With the calm understanding, growing began when we step out of comfort zone. Second stage of my life, the Toastmaster experience, amid in the personal and the professional wide world. I joined Toastmaster, a decision forever changed my trajectory. My first meeting was filled with the anticipation and fear. I still remember the trembling in my voice, but that moment marked the beginnings of the journey of the self-discovery and confidence building. Toastmaster taught me more than the public speaker. Toastmaster taught me the power of the connection and storytelling and leadership. Every speech, every evaluation was the building a block of the transformative me from hesitant participate into the advanced club Toastmaster leadership speech, capable to mentoring others. Third role in my life, sharpening the skill across the road. My time in the Dubai was not just about adapting in new cities. It was about evolving across industry in the retail. I learned customer empathy and teamwork. Moving to the real estate, I mastering negotiation and strategic communication. Each role reflects me to the Toastmaster narration in me. The courage to the speak up, clarity to the convey the idea, and compassion to connect with the people. Fourth stage, facing the adversities. As the co-founder in the Al-Ustura Tourism, building a business taught me resilience and risk-taking. When the pandemic started, Toastmaster prepared me to become calm under the pressure, think under my feet, and lead with the composure. While those challenges, great lesson were the transformative, reinforcing that the setback of the stepping into to growth and flourish. The 5 stage of my life, a new chapter coming home. In 2007, I returned to the Iran after 16 years, a decision stepping me in the reflection. Home country remind me how far from the quiet street of the Ahvaz to the dynamic leadership role Toastmaster inspire. In the final, as the takeaway, the power of the progress. If there is a one message I would to leave with you, everything matters in your journey. From the choice you will make to the challenge you will face, to the moving to the new city, or trying a different or something different, offering the opportunity for the growth and flourish. Remember, your unique story has the power to inspire others. So embrace it fully. Just remember, everything matters in your journey. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Indeed, everything matters in your journey. What a journey, right? That you have had, Maryam. And yeah, everything that we do, wherever we go, it matters. And as Youselee pointed out, you are you. Doesn't matter where you were born, where you moved to, you are you. What amazing speeches we've heard today. So we've had the education speaker and then 5 speakers on top of that. Total 6 speakers, ladies and gentlemen. And we will be voting for the best speaker soon. So let's see now. Is it? Yes, correct. Mr. Madam Timer, if you can put your report in the chat, that'll be great. Zoom Master, if you can launch the vote for the best speaker or the most effective speaker, and that will be launched soon. There we go. Here it is. The speakers were, if you just remind you, Nicole Miller, Amplify Your Aspirations, Alfin Abrar, Everything Needs Time. He was Breaking the Stones, Zahra Moharrer, A Single Act of Kindness, Angela Brown, Enough, Just As I Am, Youselee Joseph, An Incredible Change. It was an incredible change. And Everything Matters, Maryam Saedavi, all the way from Iran. Amazing speeches. Would you agree, ladies and gentlemen? Please do vote for the speaker that you thought was the most effective speaker today. I will also ask our Sergeant at Arms to post, or Irene, one of them, to post the link for the guest book in the chat again. Ladies and gentlemen, now you've heard all of our speakers. You know what we do here. So thank you very much for the guests. Please let us know what you thought of our speakers. Give them some feedback in the guest book if you may, or tell us what you thought of this meeting so far. And if you're interested in joining Leadership Speak, I will come back later to speak with you as guests. Now, who is coming next? It's our general evaluator, I believe. Let's see now. And our general evaluator is Gerda Felix. And she has been watching us from the sky, from a satellite. And now she's going to land on Earth and tell us and lead us in the next phase and tell us how we've done so far. Please put Gerda Felix on here, Mr. Zoom Master. Now, Gerda Felix is a distinguished Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, and also the District 86 Pathways Chair. To her, to lead, to serve, to lead, mentor, and thrive is all about serving and service. By the way, Gerda lives about 200 kilometers from where I am. So again, another Canadian, right from Ontario, right where I am, not far. And how's the weather in London, Ontario?
I feel that it is cool today, but I have not been out, so.
Wise choice. Though, of course, it's not like Deborah's minus 30 for sure. Gerda, welcome, and tell us what you'll be doing. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. It is time for evaluations. And as you know, and maybe you don't know, but here at Leadership Speak, we focus on critical thinking. And you will hear that our evaluators will speak on the content, on the takeaway for the audience, and also tell us what type of speech that was. I am excited. Are you excited to hear what our evaluators will share with you? I would like to call on our first evaluator. But before I do that, not only will I call on the evaluators, I will also call on the role players. And in the end, I will share with you my thoughts on the meeting. Our first evaluator evaluating the toast is Tony Bratchett. Tony said, surviving is not enough. Leadership is needed to thrive. Please help me welcome Tony Bratchett.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Hello, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests, and especially you, Irene. Irene, in preparation for this toast, and of course the toast is a very short presentation. In preparation for this toast, you had told me that you want the audience takeaway to be the impression that we should always consistently grow to improve ourselves. And within this short presentation of your toast, I thought you accomplished some amazing things. And the one thing that comes to my mind right off the bat is a superpower. You leveraged the power of the tricolon. And the tricolon is a rhetorical device that puts groups of three into a phrase to deliver impact. Now, first off, you engaged our attention by asking the audience, what are we planning for the future? Because if we fail to plan, we plan to fail. So you focused on one thing, growth. So the theme, our theme itself for the meeting was a tricolon, lead, mentor, and thrive. But you didn't get lost in that. You focused on one thing, growth, and the planning for growth. And then you used the tricolons. For example, you talked about, you used the phrase plan, order, sequence. Plan, order, sequence. And Irene, it came out naturally from you. I thought, wow, this is gripping. This is something that is powerful. You talked about being able to flourish by being able to plan. And wasn't it ironic that a number of times throughout this meeting, we heard our speakers talk about planning to flourish. For example, Youselee Joseph talked about planning to leave her country to come to the new country. So she planned to flourish by making some things different in her life. Your tricolon message to us was to how you started off the meeting with a good message. You started the year off with a good toast, and you're helping us start the rest of our lives with a powerful message that we must plan to grow. A suggestion I have is when you made the toast, which is a wonderful toast at the end, perhaps to incorporate the power of the tricolon in your toast. For example, plan, order, sequence, or grow, 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 or flourish, flourish, flourish. Minor point. Overall, a fantastic way to start the meeting, to start the year, and to help us start the rest of our lives. Great toast. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. I like that you share with us the power of three, which I enjoy that you share that. One thing I may add, and although you said it in the end, when you mentioned the three, come back with to a thriving year, because to a thriving year was the toast. Therefore, to incorporate all three and then to a thriving year. Well done, Tony. And now, to evaluate our Toastmaster of the day, we have Vinod Paniker. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Vinod Paniker.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Lead, mentor, thrive. An amazing theme. What I felt was I was seeing someone who was dynamic, radiant, and exuberant tour guide who was taking us through Nairobi, Cyprus, Indonesia, Canada, to all the different places. And you were an amazing tour guide. The meeting from the time you took over went seamless. And that is one hallmark of a Toastmaster. I felt today you filled the gap of the presidential address also, because being the president, you came and told about the achievements. And I like the way you spoke about each and everything: the club of the year, 15th open house, 17 charter date, 29 countries, 41 education awards. You listed each and everything in brief. Then you introduced the theme and spoke about what the theme is. That is what a Toastmaster should do, basically. And after that, you introduced every speaker in a different way. Usually, we speak like when we introduce a speaker, we say it's a 45-second speech, opening, body, and closing. But you choose a different way where you ask them from where are you, how is the weather over there, and you made them speak, both the speaker and the evaluator. It was different, and I like different things. So it was amazing. And you also asked after the first speaker spoke to all the members to give feedback. And I felt that that could have been repeated for all the speakers, or being a club which is in the top 5, you can also suggest that go to pathways, go to the base camp, go to the feedback path, and choose your member and give feedback. Something of that type, because it's you, Brahm, I can tell like that. One suggestion as a TMOD, and one more thing that I absolutely liked was the speech title that you were displaying. This is the first time that I'm seeing a Toastmaster of the day when they are doing the role. This is the speaker's name, this is the title. It was very clear and very nice. One more role of a Toastmaster of the day is to adhere to time. And somewhere I felt the time was little bit overspent on the achievements in the beginning, but granted, because the first meeting of the year, let us take a little more time and acknowledge all the achievements and all these things. Other than that, I felt seamless tour guide. You took us through all like what you say, in a seamless way, and it was very well executed role. So overall, I believe that you showed us how to lead, mentor, and thrive in action. And if that adhering to time is little bit taken into consideration, I believe that would be like what you say, we will really flourish to the next level. Thank you, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Master Vinod. Well said and well shared. One thing I would like to add, because I've heard this in Brahm's address, I'll use that word. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. And he mentioned that a lot of time. Perhaps pay attention to that, ladies and gentlemen, and then okay. Okay. Those are two words that I would like, or I would recommend to pay attention to in your speech. But Vinod, well done. Thank you. And now it is time for Deborah Walker, who will evaluate our education speaker. And Deborah, I believe Deborah said, yes, Deborah did say something. Deborah said, surviving and thriving are two different things. Leaders, make sure to surround yourselves with people who will help you thrive. Please help me welcome Deborah Walker.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. Nicole, for you and your evaluation today, I'm going to speak to stage presence, dialogue, structure, and the takeaway message. What I thought that you did really well was your stage presence throughout. You began your presentation very strongly. You spoke very clearly. You have a powerful voice that commands attention and authority. You have very good stage presence. That was very, very, very well done. Your eye contact was also very well done, aside from the few times when you were looking down at your notes. When we're on camera, it is very much like being under a microscope and every little detail shows. But overall, you did well looking at the camera, especially for a longer speech. That's hard to do for an extended period of time, and you did that very well. Something I think that isn't going to be an area of strength for you is storytelling. When you opened with your story about the farmer and you used the dialogue, I had a feeling storytelling is an area that's going to be a real strength for you. And I would encourage you to do more learning on storytelling, whether it is an online course that you take or a book that you read on the topic. I think that's a key area for you to really hone in on. So those are some things you've done very well, and something else that I think you can grow really, and it will be a strength for you. For today's presentation, what are some adjustments that you could have made that would have made it a little bit better? We're actually going to come back to the eye contact portion in the farmer story with respect to the dialogue. When you delivered the dialogue, you were looking straight at the camera. But the correct use of dialogue actually involves placing characters on the stage. For example, if I was telling a story and I had my mom as a character and I placed my mom to this side, I would look slightly at her when I'm speaking to her, and then I would shift and I would look slightly this way when she's speaking to me. Use the dialogue when you want to address the audience directly, but when you want to engage in dialogue with the characters, place the characters on the stage. Look at the character to one side when you're speaking to them, and then shift slightly to the other side when they're speaking to you. The audience will follow the conversation. And the last thing I want to touch on is the structure and the takeaway message of your speech. There was quite a bit of content in your speech. We had the story, we talked about this, we talked about that. I felt that there wasn't a clear structure, and every speech needs an anchor in order to really make sure that the message is clear. I feel that in the case of your speech today, had you used an acronym for the different points, that would have lent itself well to a structure, and it would have been memorable to the audience. And then that leads to the takeaway. Your very last words in your speech were encouraging members or encouraging guests to become a member of Leadership Speak. But what's the takeaway message for the members? If you had included an acronym for the clear structure of the speech, that would have lent itself to a memorable message for everyone to take away and not just have the final words be to the guests. Again, you have excellent stage presence. You've got, I think, a real strength with the storytelling skill. Keep honing in on that. And then remember the placement of the characters on the stage for the dialogue and incorporate a meaningful anchor into your speech for the structure so that everyone has a clear takeaway message. Well done. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deborah. Well summarized, well shared. I have a question. When Nicole sang the song, did she mention who the song was by?
I didn't hear it.
Thank you. And that's one thing to pay attention to. Although we all know, or I'm assuming that we all know, but I don't think it was mentioned. And it is something that is very important for us to do. Thank you, Toastmaster Deborah Walker. And now, it is time for Elena Constantinow, evaluating Alfin Abrar. And Elena said, 2025 will mark the year where she attempts to make her calling a reality, to have meaningful contribution to education by working on her thesis and building her corporate training business. We are all looking forward to that. Please help me welcome Elena Constantinow.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. At a time when social media promotes the concepts of working smart and not hard, or taking the fast lane, it is a blessing to see young people like Alfin appreciate the need for hard work and time in order to flourish. Thank you, Alfin. Thank you for reminding us that when something is achieved, it is not because of that final act, but because of all the hard work which came before to prepare, practice, fail, persist, endure pain and mocking, and to keep believing. Alfin, you excelled at storytelling, in my point of view, not only of the Stonecutter's parable, but of your own experience. At some point, I could not separate you from the stonecutter, which is an incredible result of storytelling. To be able to embody the role of your protagonist. You did that through effective body language and vocal pacing and a certain credibility and dignity in your words and tone. I found your pace wonderful, as it allowed me to follow your words and emotions and have time to experience them on many levels. Your hand gestures were controlled, your use of pauses was very good. Your pronunciation was very clear, and your intonation effective. And you did a very effective job with the dialogue during the storytelling. Your Zoom presence was strong, with room for improvement. I appreciated you not rocking at all and using the depth of the screen very well by moving front and back and front very effectively. Albeit you could do a little bit more and also move from right to left or even up and down. I would have liked your eye level to be a little higher, so that your eyes would not look half closed and affect your facial expressions. And if you had placed the camera at waist level, we would have been able to see your body expressions better. And that would have helped achieve your project goals. As far as vocal variety is concerned, I could suggest that you challenge yourself by making use of slower pace or softer tone at times, as to increase the sense of suspense and mystery. Alfin, your motivational techniques were various and effective, and they flourished as your speech evolved. You started with a question to the audience, which engaged us. You had storytelling with a protagonist and some villains. You had the dialogue, you had rhetorical questions, you had quotes and a call to action. So I myself am motivated not to let the mockery of other people or my own internal criticism prevent me from getting to that glorious blow, which cracks the stone in two. Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Elena Constantinow. I was waiting to hear what type of speech that was, and you mentioned it in the end. Well done. I also heard this. Why I don't know this earlier, and that was from, of course, that was from Alfin's speech. Why I don't know this earlier could be, why didn't I know this earlier? Because I heard this and I stopped because it felt it was two different times for me. So that's my, of course, recommendations for the evaluation. Well done, Elena. I love that you summarized, and I love that you mentioned what type of speech that was. Thank you. And now it is time to call on our next evaluator. And this time it is Toastmaster Phoebe and Joseph evaluating Oh, sorry, Dan Odero. I was getting ahead of myself. It is time for Dan Odero to evaluate Zahra Moharrer. And Dan said this: as the new year begins, refocusing on being an exceptional leader comes through both mentoring and receiving mentorship to ensure that we all thrive. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Dan Odero.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. And thank you, Zahra, for that speech. Motivational strategies, a real motivation. One of the things for speaking, when we speak to pass a message or to connect with an audience. And you did that very well at the beginning by the question you asked and said, by a show of hands, how many of us have? And that shows that you are thinking about the audience. Then you went into a story. A story, your facial expression was great. We could see the distress on your face when you're showing the emotional, your hand gestures, great gestures, great vocal variety. And then you brought the click. That girl who you're talking about as a third party, it was me. Yes, so we felt it and said, now it is so realistic how you talked about the story, but we now realize it is your story. That brought us well because we connected with you at a great level. As you also demonstrated the conversation you had with the lady at the station. Great performance when you say, and you're talking to her, how you demonstrated it. We could see it, a brilliant act, change the voice. And then a statement that you said, my initial silence spoke volumes. What a great statement. Many of us sometimes think when someone is silent, they're not saying anything, but that speaks volumes. Put out that very well. So how does an act of kindness help it? You brought it out well. You get examples. You demonstrated it brilliantly. And then you went on at the end to have a call for action. So we'll guess what with you and I looked at the chat box and the people were saying yes, yes, when you call out for people for action. One area I think you could work on, and I think you're very modest about the achievements you had, which are great achievements. Probably tie in also how an act of kindness have helped you, your achievements, and what you have achieved because of an act of kindness. And maybe at the end, before you close off with the call for action, this is what I have achieved because of a call for act of kindness. This is the thing I achieved. Because then that is more powerful for us to envision it in you and why you have the authority then to speak to us, because you have not only just thought about it, you have experienced it and you have achieved great what you have. But only on a great speech, great use of vocal variety, great body language, and your critical thinking about it, yes, showed right through. Thank you for that speech, and I look forward to more of your speeches. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dan Odero. Great summary, great recommendations. And one thing I would like to add, when Zahra mentioned between present and future, I thought it would be even more beneficial between present and future, because future is going towards, not side by side. Be mindful of the body movement, do more of them, exaggerate them, not because we did not know or we did not see what you've done, but I feel like more exaggerations are needed. Thank you, Toastmaster Dan Odero. And now I would like to call on the next evaluator, Fabian Joseph, evaluating Angela Brahm. And Fabian said the theme motivates him to enhance his leadership skills in 2025. And we all will be witness to that. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Fabian Joseph.
Angelina, at 4 feet 10 inches, you stood firmly and asked that question, am I enough? And that rhetorical question grabbed my attention because not only did you ask the question, but you follow up that question with a powerful storyline of your life. And that made us understood the reason for that question. Your stories were so impactful, and it showed us clearly how good you are at storytelling. And I must also commend you with your stage presence. Your Zoom presence was impeccable because the fact that you stood and you presented add more flavor to your presentation. During our conversation, you would have mentioned that you would like to improve your humorous speech. You want to step out of your comfort zone. And I have noticed that while you were speaking and telling those stories, you were wiping your eyes, which indicated that you were sad after telling those stories. And your speech was more of an inspirational speech to me. And I believe you could have 10x that speech by firstly smiling. A humorous speech is all about being happy so that you could grab the attention and have persons with a bright smile on their face. The story you shared where you were playing hide and seek with your siblings, you could have hyped that speech where you could have said, can you believe we were playing hide and seek? They sent me to hide and they forgot to find me. Toastmasters and get who does that? Angelina, you are an excellent storyteller. And that is a powerful tool of a great speaker. And if you can transfer some of that humor to your stories, I believe that you can step right out of your comfort zone. Because as you mentioned in your speech, you are enough. Therefore, Angelina, I implore you that moving onwards, incorporate some of those humor into your storylines so that you can meet that goal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fabian Joseph. I liked that you started with, am I enough? Or I am enough. And you ended with that, because this is definitely the takeaway. Critical thinking is also not only to have heard what the speaker said, but also to use it as a takeaway in your evaluation. And you've done that. And you also mentioned the content, how it was done, what you would recommend or you have recommended, and what was already there. Well done. Thank you. And now it is time to evaluate Youselee Joseph. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Buhari Zayad.
Thank you so much, the General Evaluator. Toastmaster Youselee Joseph, congratulations. Your speech had very good clarity. From the beginning and the end to the end of the speech, I could hear, understand the tune and pace you used in making the presentation. Another thing that caught my attention very well in your presentation is your Zoom presence and eye contact, where you looked into the camera and you spoke with clarity. During our conversation before today's meeting, you pointed out that you wanted your speech through storytelling to motivate, persuade, encourage, and convey a strong message. And that speech objective was about communicating change. As we all know, change is the constant factor we have in life. And most people are afraid to attack change or to embrace change. But through your story, you helped us understood some basic facts about change. You started with a story about the incident that happened where you were at your workplace, the US Embassy, with your colleague. A lot happened. That was a frightening situation. A colleague reached out to you, of course, to talk about what next, how to get an emergency tools to make you stay over in case of next time. And you stood your ground and embraced change by telling her that this is the time for you to change your career path. In terms of the conveyance you did in your speech, you incorporated good pauses. Those pauses gave me and the other audience, Toastmaster Youselee, time to digest what you said, even with the uncertainties and the sad story that you gave us. So you ticked that part of your presentation and aspiration, conveying the message. What I would recommend under that is the use of vocal modulation, especially in different parts of your speech that needed to show emotions, especially in that part of your speech where you told your colleague that you were tired of the situation and you needed to change. I would have loved to hear you, Toastmaster Youselee, use a very low tone of voice. I'm tired, you need to change. That will capture the audience minds to understand that you were in that position to embrace change. In terms of motivation, you have given that part of the information and action acronym you used in getting information about places you want to go and work. And of course, gaining the action that will make you articulate and make that into reality. For persuasion, you showed us that you embraced change because you not only told us how many years you did after taking that decision. You mentioned that you spent 1 year, 9 months, and 2 days. That, of course, shows that that was a good result when you embrace the change, and it will persuade audience and myself to embrace change more. You talked about blessing as the word of the day for your 2024. Going forward, Toastmaster Youselee, I would want you to concentrate on your timing, as the speech was supposed to last for 5 to 7 minutes, but the speech lasted for more than 9 minutes. Your call to action would have gotten chunk part of at least 30 seconds to reiterate what you said initially. As we all know, change is something that we need to embrace. All in all, I would say that you have met your speech objectives. Congratulations, and over to you, the General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Buhari Zahra. What was your takeaway? I would have liked to hear this from the beginning. What was your takeaway from Youselee's speech? You have mentioned many great recommendations, and up to now, I don't know what was your takeaway. So please be mindful as you are evaluating to let us know from the start what is your takeaway? And now, our next evaluator, evaluating Maryam Saedavi's speech, is Toastmaster Nzinga Jassy. And Nzinga said, leaders support and grow with their teams by connecting with authenticity and thriving in one's endeavors. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Nzinga Jassy.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Hi, Maryam. Your speech title was captivating to me, and it linked to a point you made concluding your speech that everything matters. The decisions, setbacks, challenges should be used as opportunity to grow and to flourish. That was very effective to me. It sounded very effective. What I think could be more effective is the organization and structure of your speech. From the opening, when you started by greeting us and the guests, thank you, and then telling us what you would do, it faded away a bit, that punch from the title. What I suggest is, rather than I want to share with you my journey of transformation, why not starting by my journey of transformation and then add what you want to add? Because it will take us immediately to what you want to say. Then the connection with the audience could be emphasized with some examples. The challenges you faced and what you had to do to overcome those challenges when you moved out of Iran, when you moved back to Iran. Even regarding your Toastmasters experience, you mentioned briefly that you were hesitant. What about adding a few examples, maybe of projects where you were challenged to overcome that, what's called, that trait, to improve it? What did you do to improve it and how it felt to you? Then we would feel, you would take us back on that journey of transformation. We would be able to understand how you were transformed, because that's what wasn't clear for me, is how you have transformed. Also, regarding your Zoom presence, sometimes when you did some gestures, your hand disappeared. We could not see the amplitude of the gestures, so you might work on that. Other than that, I would say, keep going. You have a captivating title. Just work on layering it down to the point you want to make, to the conclusion. Because if you told us that you would be talking about your transformation, let us know what the transformation was. And then we could be inspired by your story, by your experience. Thank you. Back to you, Guarda.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nzinga Jassy. And my question is, what is your takeaway from the speech? From the beginning, what is the takeaway?
Setback challenges should be used as opportunities to grow and flourish. Just that.
I will talk more on this a little bit later. But before I will, can I ask for the poll to be launched? Thank you, timer. So that we can choose the best effort evaluator. And can you let me know when the poll is closed, please? Is the poll closed?
Yes, it is. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. And now I would like to call on our grammarian, Toastmaster Suresh.
Thank you, General Evaluator Gerda. Dear leaders, as a grammarian, my observations for today's meeting, many participants incorporated the word of the day, flourish, in their speeches. Nicole used one time, and Deborah one time, and Elena and Tony used 3 times, flourish, flourish, flourish. Vinod and Brahm, and the best usage of words, quotes, thoughts by Nicole, fraction, amplify, Brahm, connect. There is no overnight success. Alfin, mocking, the rock, Zahra, compassion, diverse perspective, Angela, here I am after 60 years, Phoebe and Joseph, impeccable, Youselee Joseph, blessings, and you are who you are, and Mr. Buhari Jayad, Ambrose, change, Maryam, the power of perseverance, resilience of life, Tony, accomplish, plan, order, sequence, Vinod, radiant, Deborah, place the characters on the stage. Elena used 2 filler words, two times. And there are some few observations for improving. Nicole Miller, due to high stage time, I have been told repeatedly, maybe she can use, I have read this over and over again. Just a minute. Mr. Vinod, something that type, instead of that, something like that. So, and also 2 times there is a disconnection between when Vinod gave his speech, 2 times disconnection of the structure. Overall, this is my report, and over to you, General Evaluator Gerda.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suresh. And now here is my thoughts, and also recommendations. I will start by saying I made at least one faux pas. I mentioned that Nicole did not mention the author of the song, and then I left you to wonder who that might be. The song was from Bob Marley, if you did not know. So that was my faux pas. The second faux pas that I made was I did not tell you how long the evaluation was going to be. It was a 2 to 3 minutes evaluation. And I did not mention that in the beginning of when I started speaking. I am a firm believer that we need to come clean, or at least to say what we need to say so that we can move powerfully. As members of Leadership Speak, our aim is definitely to flourish. How do we do that? By providing evaluations that are of critical thinking, but also to know that an evaluation is a speech. Therefore, we start almost like with a, well, not almost, with a sentence that has captivated us in the speech that we have heard. And from that sentence, we develop with the grows and the glows and the content. And then we end with that sentence, like a beautiful package. As evaluators, I would like to ask you to do the following, because you are evaluating a myriad of members who come from different countries. Therefore, they have different languages than the language that we speak in Leadership Speak. Please take the time to listen to them in their mother tongue. That will help you to help them as well. Because as we get to know someone, to know their intonation in their mother tongue, we can also help them better themselves in the English language. This is something that I have learned to do. I love that our meeting always starts on time, and I love the progression of this meeting. Everything was done according to the theme. And I believe that the TMOD, Brahm Memone, started us very well. These are my thoughts and recommendations. And now I would like to return back control to Toastmaster Brahm Memone.
Thank you. We'll wait for the Zoom master to spotlight me. Mr. Zoom, thank you. There I am. Gerda, thank you so much. Wonderful evaluations, well done. What we really need to focus on, for which Gerda did point out from time to time, is the one thing that we're always working on is what is the audience's takeaway. It is so important, and we've conducted so many trainings on it, and the next training is on January the 18th. If you are a guest, become a member, you can be part of the training, or you can just come as a guest and watch, or actually be part of the training itself. We have, before I go on and ask John to come here and do his thought of the day, Mr. Zoom Master, who is preparing the certificates today? Just a quick word from you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Brahm. I will have the honor of sharing the certificates.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. So let's bring on the thought of the day. My very good friend from Washington, D.C., John Ojefo.
Thank you, Brahm.
We'll wait for you to be spotlighted so that we can
Yes.
all see you well. Do you like this? The brain that is sparkling? I think your brain is just going there. Welcome, John. And how's Washington, D.C. today?
Cold, freezing,
Cold.
26
Yes.
degrees Fahrenheit.
Over to you for your thought of the day.
2025, a year to lead, mentor, and thrive. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, Happy New Year. To me, today's meeting has been captivating, insightful, and memorable. 2025 has become more than a number. It's now a promise of bold leadership, generous giving and accepting mentorship, and flourishing beyond imagination. As Our Toastmaster of the Day and various speakers have said 2025 offers us the chance to amplify our impact as leaders, mentors, and coaches. It's a year to lead boldly, inspiring and empowering others and shaping the future. But leadership doesn't happen in isolation. And that's where mentorship comes in. Mentorship is the bridge between leadership and growth. 2025 is a year to mentor with purpose and build a legacy of growth and success that echoes far beyond all of us. Finally, and most importantly, 2025 is a year to thrive, not just to survive or get back. It is to flourish and to soar to new heights. As Maya Angelou said, my mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, with compassion, with some humor, and with some style. In conclusion, 2025 is our year to lead boldly with integrity and authenticity, mentor purposely and generously with hearts, thrive with unshakable determination. 2025, a year to lead, mentor, and thrive. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
John, what an amazing thought of the day. Leaders, mentorship, thriving. This is going to be an amazing year. I so much loved your last thought of the day to finish off this meeting. Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at our next part of the agenda. Now, of course, I would like to talk to the guests. So just be here for a second, guest, while actually before I talk to the guests, let me just ask our Zoom master to see who were the most effective speaker and evaluator. Mr. Zoom master, are you ready? Parents?
Yes, they are ready. I will
Oh, wonderful. Let's have them displayed.
Thank you. Baron, please proceed.
Thank you very much. Well, while we are waiting for the for the certificate to pop up, what I would like to say is that we have had quite a number of guests sign in our guest book, and while we're waiting for the certificates, okay, I'm trying to stall. We have Nicole White. Isn't Nicole White here amongst our guests?
Yes, good morning, everyone. Sorry, I'm unable to turn my camera on right now, but I'm here. Good morning.
And how did you find our meeting?
Awesome. This is my second time. This is my second visit, and
yes,
made some notes, and definitely a learning experience as well. Growth is definitely on the horizon for me for 2025, and I'm glad I started with my first Toastmaster meeting with you. I do not have a current club at the moment, but everything definitely looking forward for 2025, and I echo your sentiments, the year to lead, mentor, and thrive. And of course, I'm adding flourish with that as well. So great meeting, for sure. I did send a few individual feedback to different persons that I heard from, and yeah, well done. Enjoyed being here again. I'm looking forward for more. Thank you so much.
On the guest book, Nicole, you indicated you are interested in membership.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay, I'll be in touch, or somebody will be in touch with you shortly.
For sure. I think I indicated that on my first form as well. I'm not sure what happened. I'm almost sure I did.
Not a problem.
Sure. Take care.
I will make sure I'll communicate with you today. All right, I think we are ready with the certificates because I saw something pop up on the screen a bit earlier. Baron, how's it going?
Looks like technology is acting up a little bit.
Okay, so just what we will do is if your internet is a bit slow and it's taking time, put the names of the winners in the chat, okay? Oh, there you are. Let's see. Let's see if it's popping up. As you know, we are an online club, so sometimes it takes a bit longer. So the best evaluator, Elena, congratulations, amazing job. Thank you so much. And who is, do we have any more evaluators, or is it the speaker? Ladies and gentlemen, please wait. Gerd, I'm saying ladies and gentlemen a bit too much. Okay, guests and members, please wait. Is that better, Gerd? Oh, it's disappeared. What about the speaker, Baron? All right. While we are waiting, if you're unable to load that, you can put the name in the chat for us, okay? And congratulations to Elena. Okay, so is Marie Sandra from Haiti here? No, she's left the meeting. I don't see her. All right. She's indicated that she would like to be a member, and Frank Sonius, who is a guest of Sandra Volks, has indicated that he wants to be a member, and I don't think Frank is here either because he left the meeting earlier. He sent us a message. Okay, so with that, Baron, what's the status of the certificate? Somebody speak to me, please.
Our best speaker is Angela Brown.
Thank you very much. And while the polls were going, I did notice that Angela Brown had the maximum votes, the top, most number of votes, but very close to Angela Brown, next to her was Youselee Joseph and Alfin Abrar. And if I was able to vote, I would have voted for them as well. So I would ask our Zoom Master Sergeant or Sergeant, Club Sergeant at Arms to make a certificate for Youselee Joseph and Alfin Abrar because they were very close next to Angela and they did great speeches. Would you all agree? Yes? Wonderful. Thank you. So well done, Angela, Alfin, and Youselee for putting in time to prepare and give us information and enhance our learning and more understanding of the world and how it works. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm done. Let me just have a quick look at the gallery to see if there's any more guests that we need to speak to. Let's see now. Helen Silvan, are you there? Or Gohen Mitaita? Any one of you around?
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Who is that? Is that Helen?
Yes, this is Helen. Good
Hey,
evening.
Helen.
How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Where are you from, Helen?
I am from South Africa in Nelspruit.
Oh, wonderful. And how did you hear about us?
I heard about you from one of our members at our club, Nochawe Nkosi.
Oh, and she's one of our star performers here. And would you like to join Leadership Speak?
I saw that your requirements, it says that you should have completed about
Yes.
three paths. I'm still on
Three
my
levels,
first one.
not three paths,
Yes.
3 levels of one path. Yes.
3 levels. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm still on my first level. I just recently joined Toastmasters in our area.
Okay. And we have Rajendra Verma, who's just put on his videos. I can see Rajendra Verma. How are you, Rajendra? How did you find our meeting? I know you've been here before, so.
Thank you, Brahm. Actually, it was a fantastic meeting. I mean, 5 wonderful speeches, followed by 5 wonderful evaluations. And this is the beauty of a Toastmaster meeting, wherein, you hear speeches on variety of topics. Normally, I would have stopped there, but here I can go one step ahead and say that from 5 different people of various backgrounds, various countries, various accents, and that also reflected on the various topics that they selected. So it is a real diversity. It's a wonderful meeting that I attended, and I'm so glad that I spent some time here. And we really wish this club all the very best. I'm already a member of 2 clubs, really will not be able to do justice to this if I join this again. So probably I will join as guest, but it was wonderful meeting, and thank you very much for having me as a guest.
Thank you very much for visiting us, Rajendra, and please do visit as much as you can, whenever you can. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you, and I think that's all with the guests, unless somebody's put on the video. Not at all. Okay. In that case, ladies and gentlemen, let me just conclude by saying that 2025 is going to be a great, amazing year. We've just won the Club of the Year from District 86, second consecutive year. We won the year before. We just, 2022, 2023, 23, 24, and we are on our way to winning that trophy again for the coming year. So on June the 30th this year, we will know whether we will get the trophy. But by the time they decide and give the trophy, it takes about 5-6 months for the district. It's their pace of working. So no problem. But let's rejoice that we've done great work, not only because we've done numbers. Numbers don't drive quality. As you can see, our meetings are high quality, extremely high quality, high standard, excellence. Our customer service is great and amazing, and that's what drives the numbers, because people feel engaged. That experience they have creates the engagement, and that engagement gives us what we have, a strong community of Toastmasters who are wanting to become better self-directed leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, let's lead, mentor, and thrive in 2025. This meeting is adjourned. Please switch off the recording and the streaming. Thank you very much.